Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
welcome to MME. Yeah, this is going to be a mad reaction. Not like I used to. You know what I love? Why I love doing these videos in the past? I love it when someone has a strong take, a hot take, if I think they're genuine. And I like examining it, even when I disagree. Now we're gonna check out Lantern 2814. He's been giving some hot takes in the Snyder fandom for the last few weeks. Do I agree with them? No, I do not. Do I like hearing his point of view? Yeah, I do. I'm subscribed to him. He got ratioed to all hell. I remember those days. I remember those days. Now, people just don't do anything on my videos. They don't thumbs it up. They don't comment or nothing. So yes, I remember those days. Not all of you. Not all of you. I'm just being silly. But I started to watch this video. I was like, this is a hot take. And I know some of you viewers that disagree with me might enjoy this. Phobic. You might agree with him. So go check out Lantern 2814. I don't. So let's take a look. And I'm getting ready for Movie Madness later. Oh, I could show you a preview. Now with Zack Snyder and Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max, do we exactly get the Man of Steel trilogy? Not exactly, but it's not exactly not either. Yeah, it's a weird Man of Steel trilogy. I think some would prefer just to focus on the Man of Steel only, but he has a heavy focus in all three movies or miniseries, but that's for Movie Madness. Let's get to the reaction. And yeah, I want to get back doing some reactions. I enjoy it. I might just do them on my own. Sorry, Mr. Freeze. I might just do them on my own. All right, let's check out his video.
Just, oh, this person said this, even though there wasn't an exact quote around what Geoff Johns said.
Okay, I just want to say some words about that Ray Fisher tweet about Geoff Johns a couple days ago. And in case you haven't seen it, here's the tweet. And it reads, during the LA reshoots for Justice League, Geoff Johns summoned me to his office to belittle and admonish my and my agents' attempts to take grievances up the proper chain of command. He then made a thinly veiled threat to my career. This behavior cannot continue.
Okay,
accountability is greater than evidence. Now, technically, Ray Fisher is accusing Geoff Johns of a crime right here, because if you have a serious...
Yeah, I didn't see the severity of the tweet at first, and now I recognize the severity of it. Yes, he intervened with the proper chain of command. Just because you... Listen, what does entertainment over... Sorry, I almost did a phobic. Accountability over entertainment mean? That just because you appreciate what he's done for DC Comics, Geoff Johns, doesn't mean you can act like a mob boss and not play by the rules. What he did was wrong. Is he going to go to jail? Probably not. No. Is his career over? I don't think so. Should he be held accountable? Accountability. This isn't about canceling. It's not canceling over entertainment. It's accountability. A lot in this argument want to say, by bringing up bad behavior, you're trying to cancel me. That's bullshit. That's the line that we need to stop. We need to stop this line. If you even mention my bad behavior, you're trying to cancel me. No, he should be held accountable. He got a little drunk on his power, trying to pave his way as the president of DC movie division. And it didn't work, and he did some things that were apparently, we don't know for sure. And here's the thumbnail, because this is the go-to thing right now on the internet. To defend a predator, there's Chris Hansen. You know how he does catch a predator? It's become like a show. Who could catch the next victim that's not really a victim? Who could catch the next Smollett in a lie? That's big. That you'll gain a lot of subs and a lot of views if you do that. But it's jumped the shark. The scales have gone the other way, and people want to attack anyone that speaks out. If this leads nowhere and there is no actual court case, I don't know what the point of this is if it's not going to lead somewhere. I think it's going to lead somewhere. I think there's more that you don't know. I really do. All right, but let's see Lantern's take.
Serious grievance in your workplace and you're stopped from taking it to upper management, that is considered a crime.
Yeah.
But the language Ray Fisher uses is so vague that
it is
this would
vague.
never hold up anywhere. And you would actually need details in order for this statement to have that much weight. And that's the problem with Ray Fisher.
Well, Lantern, I'll stop you right there, brother. This isn't the what if it does proceed to a court case. You think that this tweets are going to be the only thing brought up? That's not going to hold up. It's overly vague, possibly because it's got a filter through an attorney and through his manager. So that's why he's being overly vague, because the end result may be prosecution or a court case or fines and things like that. Accountability is what he's saying. Accountability. So that's what he's looking for. Is Geoff Johns going to be making comics in jail? Probably not. No. Should Warner Media address it? Look, they're going after Ellen. A lot of these comic creators are held in such high regard that are involved in comics that the fans let people get a pass. They act like comic book villains. A little bit. Listen, I've followed Comicsgate, not anymore, but bad behavior. And just because he's not in charge anymore, that is not him serving his time for the crime either. I've seen your Twitter, Lantern. Just because he's not that doesn't mean he is. That he is. That is the punishment for his crimes. If he committed a crime, if he did something unlawful in the workplace, and more in line like a mob boss or something, then yeah, he should get what's coming to him. That doesn't mean he can't move on forward in his life. I really do think it's odd that no one in an official capacity at Warner Media is addressing this, with us all going into fandom like this. This is odd. It is odd. I'll give you that. All right, let's get back to his video.
Right now, he's been putting out this stuff about Josh Whedon, Geoff Johns, and I'm assuming the next one's going to be John Berg, but he's been putting out this stuff with little to no details, no real specifics, and you got to wonder, what the end game is, what's the goal, how long is he going to keep this up?
Yeah, I believe there is an end game. Yes, I don't think we're at the end game yet.
Instagram post, it seems like he's going to keep this up for a long time, just saying very vague things about people on Twitter. And I'm really at a loss as to what the goal is, because if Ray Fisher wanted to sue him,
Lantern
he'd already done that by now.
If you're at a loss, you're not paying attention. Maybe you believe he's disingenuous. Maybe you think he's doing this for other reasons. That's your right. That's your opinion. But if you don't know the reason he's doing, you're at a loss. It's right there in all his tweets. Accountability over entertainment. Just because you have a talent doesn't mean they get to be that they get to treat other people like they're not humans. In fairness in the workplace. Do you think that's lame? Do you? I know a lot of my friends even. He's telling on you. He's snitches get stitches and stuff like that. No, this is the real world. Grow up, everybody. Everyone has a right to their own opinion, has a right free speech, but in the workplace, there has to be some rules. I'm sorry. Is that lame to say? Oh, there's rules. There's rules. Okay, yeah. You got to treat people in a certain way, and you can't be doing this type of behavior. It's not right. I have no delusions that he's going to end up in jail. But he might have some consequences. And I like what he's doing with Stargirl. And I don't know how much more he's involved with Titans and all of those other shows. But DC Universe, I paid for that. I paid for Geoff Johns' little experiment for 2 years. I remember to cancel.
If you have
I did remember to go in and cancel it. It was going to renew in December. And I'm like, no, I'm not just paying for digital comics $80 a year.
Details, you have actual evidence, then sue him and get it over with. Because Geoff Johns, Josh Whedon, John Berg, these people aren't going to sue Ray Fisher. They're not even going to acknowledge Ray Fisher because that would probably give validity to what Ray Fisher's saying. So they're not going to really acknowledge what he's saying. Of course, John Berg's the only one that actually said anything, saying that Ray Fisher had a dispute over Booyah. Ray Fisher did not want to say the words Booyah in the Justice League reshoots, even though that's Cyborg's catchphrase.
Well, you don't know. You don't see. You're going off opinions of social media influencers, Lantern. That's all it was. That was a brush off comment from him to try to belittle his accusations. It was trying to brush it off. So you don't know that's what it was about. You're assuming based on what the response was. Geoff Johns has had no response yet. I would be interested if he had, but he's probably under advice from his attorneys not to say anything either. This is odd. It is really odd.
And the whole story that we know so far is that Josh Whedon took over for Zack Snyder. They reshot Justice League pretty much from the ground up. And while working on those reshoots, Josh Whedon was making a lot of jokes at Zack Snyder's expense. And also during the process of these reshoots, they were cutting out a lot of Cyborg scenes. They were cutting out a lot of Ray Fisher scenes. And if we go back to his tweet, he says him and his agent wanted to express their grievances. I would assume his grievance has something to do with all the reshoots they were doing and how he didn't want his part cut out of the movie. And if
that's probably part of it. Yeah, that's probably a big part of it. Wouldn't you have bias too if you work so hard on something? Remove yourself from the situation and put yourself in someone else's shoes. I think you would have a problem too. I think anyone watching here, if they devoted themselves to something like that and someone came in and ripped apart the art that you were so invested in and someone you respected, yes, there's bias there. Is that the only thing? You're assuming too much. What do you do when you assume? I mean, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be cheesy and say it, but don't assume that's all it is.
That's the grievance. Then that's not a particularly good grievance because Ray Fisher is an actor. It's his job to do whatever scenes they tell him to do. He cannot like.
That's true. You have a point there, Lantern, but you don't know. You're not in the know either. Don't listen to people on the internet. Just as people jump the gun to cancel Geoff Johns, don't jump the gun to assume Ray's a liar either. Be fair down the middle. Okay.
But he still has to do it. That's what he's getting paid to do. And when he says Geoff Johns made a thinly veiled threat of his career, that could mean anything. It literally could mean that Geoff Johns told Ray Fisher that if he continues to be a pain in the ass, then he's not going to get a lot of work anymore. Right. That could have been the whole extent of the threat.
You're right. And you don't know that it wasn't either, though. Same on your very same point, Lantern, you don't know that that's all it was either. It could have been that. But are you going to take the man at his word when he said a Justice Con, that he has thick skin, he's worked in the industry, he is not going to use these examples unless it's something substantial? I mean, those aren't his exact words, but he says, I have thick skin. I'm not, he kind of addressed the diva comment, so I'm taking him on his word until there's a reason to doubt him. I'm not going to doubt him. If there is a reason to doubt him, I mean, I have for sure questions about this whole case. It is getting weird, and no official comment when AT&T and Warner Media is cleaning house with other problems. This one's all up in the air with a big DC event coming, so it is weird.
And I've been looking at a bunch of different sides to the story, something that nobody else is really doing. Dave over there, Film Junkie, Chris Wan, they're not really entertaining any other sides to this narrative that's happening. But there are stories about Ray Fisher being a prima donna on set, being a drama queen, being hard to work with. Those stories do exist.
Okay, those stories do exist for Joss Whedon and Geoff Johns too about their behavior. So what's your point there? You're taking a side. This is why I wanted to react to this video. I like Lantern 2814, but then all the arguments he's giving in this, yes, there could be stories of that. Some are from movie pundits that have an agenda to defend predators. Now, when I do this, do I necessarily think that Joss Whedon and Geoff Johns are absolutely 100% predators? No, but it's the accusation. I'm not I'm not here to condemn Ray, and I'm not here to condemn them either yet. But I think you should hear both sides out for sure. I think you're kind of swaying too far to the other way, Lantern. Just assuming everything you heard about Ray is right. If you're saying we shouldn't listen to him, based on Joss Whedon and Geoff Johns stories, why are you believing everything you hear about Ray? There is two sides to every story. This is a good video though. I like this video. It's thought-provoking and it's intriguing. And I do like a different take.
And I gotta think there's some truth to it because Ray Fisher hasn't had a lot of work in the last 3 years.
No,
his last job was True Detective, and that was around the same
fair.
time Justice League came out, and he's been pretty dry on the work ever since. And now he has an opportunity to get back in the limelight because the Snyder Cut's coming out. So you really have to question, why did Ray Fisher wait until the Snyder Cut was announced to air his dirty laundry? Why did he wait until the Snyder Cut was actually...
If this would have came out before the Snyder Cut was official, it would have caused problems with the Snyder Cut ever being officially released. It really would have. That is where I honestly believe. Does that exactly match up with the timeline that Ray waited? But in my no, not necessarily. There may be other reasons he's doing it right now. My personal opinion is they wanted the Snyder Cut to happen. It does get his scenes, bring back his scenes. It's a big chunk of the Snyder Cut is a Cyborg movie that we're missing, and putting this out there then, I don't think this ever would have happened. Which is kind of odd that it's happening now. But you notice he waited until it was official. They can't back out now, or the fans will lose their shit if they try to back out now. That's my personal opinion.
Becoming mainstream. The guy hasn't worked in 3 years. His only big movie is Justice League. And now he wants to air all this dirty laundry that he says that he's been gathering for 2.5 years. And, if he spent the last 2.5 years gathering stories and this is the best he's got, well, that should be a little off-putting to you because everything he said
you don't know that's the best he's got, though. You're assuming too much. And this is the thing where you attack potential victims saying, what are you hiding? Announce things on my timeline. If there is he is going to pursue something legally, he should be vague. This should play out in court. I don't know if it will. If it's just this vague and there is no end game, then I'll be like, what the hell was that about? I really will. But he says he's gathering others that were involved in the project to make a stronger case. Is there a reason for him to wait? Yes. Until you have a solid case, you go boom, boom, boom. You have other people to corroborate what has happened. You go in alone against Geoff Johns and Joss Whedon. You don't think they have good attorneys? There is a lot of reasons to wait if you're going to pursue it. There's lots of it. Okay.
With Josh Whedon, with Geoff Johns, None of this stuff is career ending. People's lives should not be ruined because they were mean to somebody on set. Careers should not be ended because an actor didn't want to do his job. And he's mad that he was forced to say booyah. Because pretty much that's the whole story.
You're just buying hook, line, and sinker what the producer said. Or what's his name? I know Geoff Johns Berg. I forget his name. I have problems remembering things. You're just taking his throwaway comment to dismiss accusations as fact. See, that's where I think you're going wrong in this hot take, Lantern. You're attacking his credibility, Ray Fisher, based on rumors, and you're just you're accepting someone else's word that it was just about booyah and dismissing it. So I think that's where this hot take isn't so hot, but I like it.
We know so far. Ray Fisher didn't want to do the reshoots. He didn't want to say booyah.
Right.
He was forced to do them. He's mad about it. And were the producers and Josh Whedon, were they all pretty power hungry? Yeah, maybe. But maybe that's because they actually had all the power in this situation. It's all down to them to make the decisions. It's not down to Ray Fisher to make any decisions. It's down to the people in charge. And the people in charge at the time were Geoff Johns and John Berg, etc.
John Berg.
And they made some bad decisions. It didn't work out. I don't think their career should be ruined over that, especially when someone like Geoff Johns has had a clean record for 30 years. And the only
listen, there was some shady stuff before AT&T stepped in. Jobs were on the line. Their futures were on the line. They were Geoff Johns and John Berg were very aggressive. So that aggressive take to tear down everything that was built before them, to gain notoriety off of tearing someone else down, and vision down? Was it just differences of opinion, creative differences? I don't think so. You're assuming the vain diva-like comments are absolutely true, and accepting John Berg's comment on face value that he wasn't being dismissive and trying to, what do you do? Like in an actual court case, you try to attack the credibility of the supposed victim. You're joining the sheep yourself. just attacking his credibility because he speaks out. Is that right? There's no reason to question him yet. You saying he hasn't had work in 3 years? He's had some work. I'll have to research his Broadway work. Yeah, this would have been this was supposed to be a jumping off point for his career too. Maybe that's why he's so salty. I think you'll put yourself in the cyborg boots, and a lot of you might be the same way.
Add stories that you hear about Geoff Johns are coming from this Justice League movie, and that's it. Josh Whedon, on the other hand, he has a history of being a dick on set. Still, not a good enough reason to ruin someone's career. And I really think this makes Ray Fisher look really bad. And you can already see people already thinking Ray Fisher's being a little bitch about this because that's what he's coming off as. Like, I'll tell you a little story. When I was in 3rd grade, the teacher pissed me off somehow, and I whispered under my breath, "Oh, that fucking bitch." And there was a girl next to me, and she overheard my whisper, and she told the teacher immediately. That's essentially Ray Fisher right now. He's being a tattletale. He's not giving specifics.
See, what is this? Grade school? This is a grade school argument. Tattletale. What the hell? Playground bully rules? No, this is the workplace. Everyone should have. Listen, I want art to be art too. I want people's vision to be intact. If you can only get your vision on the screen by being abusive, manipulative, and being like a mob boss for your vision and doing some nasty stuff behind the scenes, you're not as talented as you think you are. If you just, that's not a way. Don't become a comic book villain yourself. A lot of these creators are like this. There should be a better way forward. All right. This is why I wanted to cover this video. It's a very interesting topic. He's got one of the hottest hot takes on this, and I'm interested to see the reaction of you viewers and what you think. And maybe go subscribe to him if you agree with him. I know I have some viewers on this channel that aren't necessarily going to agree with me either.
Giving actual evidence. No one's coming to back him up, and no one's going to want to work with him again after this. And I really don't like how he's weaponizing the Snyder Cut fandom to fight for him. I mean, if you go to these tweets and you look on all the replies, everybody says, I stand with Ray Fisher, even though he really hasn't said anything or has given any strong evidence or specifics. It's not even clear whether or not Ray Fisher is going to sue these people or sue Warner Brothers.
Well, saying you stand with Ray Fisher doesn't mean you condemn the others. Now, so I disagree with you on that point. But what I have seen in the Snyder Cut fandom is fire Geoff Johns. So that is, if you went with that argument, I could see it more. I don't think we have enough here. I think you should say I stand with Ray Fisher myself, and I am going to believe him until I have some reason not to. But I am not going to call them to be fired until we know more details for sure. I'm not going that far, and I've seen a lot of that. I'm not dying on the hill just because I think you should listen to everyone, due process, and I'm not calling for them to be fired. Even though I am salty at Geoff Johns for what he did to to Justice League, he has done good in DC too. So all right.
It's not clear if he's going to do any of that. He probably won't, and they're not going to sue Ray Fisher because why bother? And all this is happening at just a very peculiar time. The Snyder Cut was just announced a few months ago, and now Ray Fisher wants to get some of that spotlight for himself. You have the DC fandom coming up in a week, and he says he's going to drop even more stuff. But way to overshadow DC Comics and DC fandom and the Snyder Cut by getting everyone focused on you, Ray Fisher. This is something that's going to hang over the whole event if he just keeps dropping this kind of stuff and getting everybody riled up. Because then all of a sudden, the Snyder Cut trailer is not the big news topic. It's whatever fucking Ray Fisher said.
Ooh.
So, a lot of things turning me off with this whole Ray Fisher thing. It's been 6 weeks since he posted that tweet about Josh Whedon. And in that time, he's provided absolutely nothing to back up any of his claims. He has no one supporting his claims. And the biggest crimes that he's laid against these people is that Josh Whedon was gross and unprofessional. They didn't want to give Ray Fisher's hairdresser a credit on the movie. And Geoff Johns made a thinly veiled threat at his career, which, could have happened. Or maybe Geoff Johns was giving Ray Fisher some good advice that Ray Fisher took as a thinly veiled threat, because that's easily what it could have been. And of course, no one else in this movement's going to speak facts at you. No one's going to actually tell you the truth about any of this.
No, hey, Lanterns, you're not the only one. you're the one giving the hottest take here. But I said also, it's hard to say whether he took that as a thinly veiled threat, and Geoff Johns was trying to say, but you don't know. You weren't in the room. We both don't know for sure. You don't know what it was like. He said, but also in his statement, he said belittled him and his manager. We'll have to see.
They're just going to say, I stand with Ray Fisher, and they're not going to really use their critical thinking skills to actually think about what's happening right now and how Ray Fisher is just a guy who doesn't really care about having a career anymore, and nothing is going to change because Ray Fisher's doing it.
No, he said that's not what. No, Lantern. He does care about having a career. He cares about seeing the full vision of Cyborg. He just said that to him personally, as a human on this planet, accountability is over entertainment. So he does care, but he thinks people should be treated a certain way, and he puts that above entertainment and money and careers. He said that. He said, so do you believe him or not is another story. Do you believe the man's words? But no, it's saying he doesn't care anymore. No.
And what is the end goal for Ray Fisher? Is he looking for money? Is that the end goal for him? What does he mean when he says we will win?
Why does he mean? Why do you assume money? you're attacking his motives. You're attacking the man's motives. He has said the reason he wants to do it is accountability over entertainment. You say, what does he want? Money? He doesn't care about his career anymore? He has told you what he is the reason he's doing it. He said, these values I hold higher than entertainment, higher than making money. So you're wrong there. He has told you, whether you believe him or not, that's a different story. Maybe you don't believe him. Maybe you think it's about money and notoriety, and he's trying to gain something from it. But look at your boy Geoff Johns. He was trying to make his name off canceling a Vision as well. So take the criticism you're taking at Ray and put it a little bit towards Geoff. He tried to get notoriety on canceling another man's vision and hijacking too. In an aggressive and toxic way. Did I use the word toxic? Yeah. Toxic work environment.
By that statement, because we already won. The Snyder Cut's coming out. We fucking did that. The victory has happened already. The film that Geoff Johns didn't want to see the light of...
Okay, that is a victory. That still is not holding accountability over entertainment if things were done wrong. He wants a better work environment for people in the industry. Okay?
Day is going to see the light of day. We beat Geoff Johns. Geoff Johns is not in a position of power anymore of DC Films. We beat Geoff Johns. Like, what is there to really win anymore? The only thing I see Ray Fisher as a goal for him is...
You're saying money and goals and what is there to win? Holding people accountable is not... It's not like a war or a win. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for all work environments. Progress. Oh my God, I said progress. Progressive. Yeah, you have your free speech. Can you say anything you want at your job? And then when someone brings it up when you do something that's bad behavior, do you say, oh, you're a tattletale? Snitches get stitches and all that. Is this how this is? This is no. Where's your professionalism? Do you really care about when you put your own self and belittle other people to a point where it's damaging to them career-wise or threats? Or do you really care about the comics or the vision when you put yourself above others? No, you don't. You care about yourself.
To get these people's jobs now. Ray Fisher's essentially using the cancel culture mentality on these people. And he's weaponizing the Snyder Cut movement to fight his battle for him. And y'all just
here we go, Lantern. You saying someone should be held accountable is not canceling them. You know, bringing up bad behavior is not canceling them. It means there's a result of your bad behavior. You know,
falling for it like sheep, saying I stand with Ray Fisher, even though he's provided you with nothing. But you know, continue to do what you're gonna do. But I'm not really gonna hop on this hate train until I hear the whole story.
Okay.
Until I hear Geoff Johns' side of things, because we kind of heard what John Berg had to say, and if it is true that Ray Fisher is doing all this drama because he didn't want to say booyah, then that is really fucking sad. And right now, that's all we have to go off of. Ray Fisher didn't want to do the reshoots. He didn't want to say booyah. He's essentially didn't want to do his job. And we're supposed to feel bad for him because he was forced to do his job. That's essentially the situation right now. So, you know, I'll wait until actual evidence comes out, until somebody backs up Ray Fisher, because until, you know, that happens, until somebody actually comes out.
Well, I've thought about this more. Why aren't others other actors involved with the project backing him up. And then the NDA thing came up. If there's something illegal, you can speak about it. That's not covered in the NDA. If other individuals are not actually involved in the case, they shouldn't say anything, really. They should not get involved. They should let it play out. That doesn't mean they don't support him either. They also have to worry about their contracts and careers, and they may be under advisement from their teams. Do not get involved. Ray has this covered. That doesn't mean they don't support him. I thought about that more. All right. It's an interesting take, though.
Out and says everything Ray Fisher's saying is true. I was there. And by somebody, I mean like one of the other cast members, somebody with some credibility. Until that happens, until I see what Geoff Johns has to say about these things or what Josh Whedon has to say, I'm not going to stand with fucking anybody, and neither should you. Why does everybody want to be sheep so badly? It's kind of disturbing. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. I'm going to look
back at you, Lantern. I don't want people to be sheep either, to just attack victims, to immediately assume that someone coming forward is hiding themselves or a liar or a Smollett. So don't jump the gun there either. I don't think you're doing as fair and balanced as you particularly think with this video. I enjoyed this video, though. All right, that's all I'm going to do for this one. Here, let me minimize this. I'm thumbsing it up. Look at the thumbs down. Oh, Lantern2814. Here's his hashtag. I don't stand with anyone. He doesn't. Here, look at that. I don't stand with anyone. That's a hot take. All right, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more and you have more reactions that I should react to, I mean certain reactions. I can't do every reaction that's thrown my way. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you later. Do you agree with Lantern? I want to know. Interesting conversation. It is weird. I will admit this is weird, going into DC fandom without getting any official word, and then he's going to be on the panels. Is Ray going to be on the panels too, and all that? It's weird. It is weird. See you for Movie Madness.